Hamas is saying is that this latest round of negotiations will be discussing the full withdrawal of Israeli forces from the coastal enclave. They're talking about also an end to the war in Gaza. And the third issue that they expect to be discussing during this latest round of indirect negotiations is whether to allow Palestinians displaced from their places of residence, especially in the northern part of the Gaza Strip, to go back. Let's look at the Israeli side. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu approved the dispatch of an Israeli delegation to Doha. This is a mid-level delegation. This isn't a top delegation. It's not headed by David Barnea, the head of the Mossad, as we've seen previously. It's a technical delegation that deals with technical issues. Its mandate somewhat limited, despite what the Prime Minister is trying to convince everyone, that he's giving it more mandate so they can discuss more issues. Israel has been on the record saying that talks about an end to the war in Gaza permanently is not on the table. Talking about Israel will continue to have military presence, which means occupation in the Gaza Strip, something that Hamas has rejected. Israel wants to put in place a mechanism to inspect all Palestinians who would be relocating or going back to their original places of residence, something that is still a contentious issue between both sides. But having Israel displaced most, if not all, of the Palestinians in northern Gaza, and talking more and more in Israel about having a buffer zone in that part of the Gaza Strip, that means that Palestinians from northern Gaza won't be allowed to go back to their places of residence, which means another obstacle in the way of reaching a ceasefire. Israel handed Hamas a list of names that it wants to see released, names of hostages that it wants to see released in the first phase of this could be three-phased deal. Hamas saying that they are agreeing to releasing 34 hostages from Gaza, but only 22 alive hostages will be released, and the other 12 will be dead hostages that will be released, something that Israel has rejected again, because Netanyahu wants to try to get as many hostages that are still alive from Gaza out in the first phase. It's very complicated, it's still very hard, and the chance of having a deal signed this weekend, slim to none.